Hey guys, welcome to another episode of Street Photography Shots Explained. So today I'm going to go ahead and talk about two of my street photography shots, and then on the second part of the video, one of my friends on Instagram ended up giving me permission to talk about one of their shots, so I'll do that on the second part of the video. So for the first shot, it is called Dawn of the Machines, this shot right here. So as you guys know from my story and the photos that I've been uploading over this past week, there was it's called Main Street Arts Festival. It's in downtown, which is in Europe for you guys. It is called City Center. There is a main street, so basically, you know, like a street that goes through downtown from the actual courthouse here in Fort Worth, and it goes all the way to the Coliseum. So that's what they call Main Street. That's the name of the street, and then that's also, you know, where the festival is located. So they ended up putting stalls all across Main Street, going from the courthouse all the way over to the big convention center. And basically, you could just go there, and there was like festival like type of food and stuff like that. You could go and check out people's work and whatnot. But what I wanted to do is that it was going to be 4 days long, and I wanted to go there the whole time, right? So I ended up going there Thursday, doing street photography and walking my dog. On Friday, doing street photography, walking my dog as well. And then on Saturday, it actually ended up pouring. So I was going to chance it and just go, because I was actually talking to somebody about doing street photography out in the rain. But as it turns out, they ended up canceling it. So I didn't go out, and they canceled it before I even went out. So that's good. So I didn't have to be out on like, it was pouring rain like crazy. But so, and then on Sunday, I ended up coming out as well, and just taking a whole bunch of street photography about, you know, the whole event and whatnot. So when I was there on Thursday, I ended up walking Reggie, like from the start of that Main Street by the courthouse. And as I was walking by, I ended up seeing this shot right here. That I ended up seeing this robot walking around and basically, you know, trying to get people acclimated to like these robots and how they move and everything. And just, you know, people had questions about them and people were answering, and like it was just like an attraction for kids and, you know, people to see this robot go crazy and do tricks and stuff like that. It looks and it's shaped just like a dog. So the first time that I ended up going through there, Reggie ended up seeing it, and most of you guys haven't really ever met Reggie or anything like that. So my dog, my boxer, he has a very, very calm nature, and he only becomes aggressive if another dog becomes aggressive, and most of the time he actually ignores other dogs. But what I'm getting at is that this dog, obviously it's a robot, it wasn't aggressive, it doesn't even bark. So Reggie would just get close to it and just look at it, and, you know, just like tilt its head while it's moving, because the robot can like jump in place and then, you know, do like 90-degree turns and everything. Just it does like a whole bunch of little movements. And my dog was just curious, and, you know, but wasn't barking or wasn't getting aggressive or anything. So I ended up taking a shot whenever it got close, because the guy was trying to have my dog get close to the robot dog. So I ended up taking a shot. And then I think on Sunday, when I ended up going back, the dog was the robot dog the guy ended up seeing my dog again, because they remember it from the first day or whatnot. And instantly the dog just like makes its way towards Reggie, like runs towards Reggie, the robot dog. And it just everybody was like, oh, is the dog gonna do anything? Because from the pictures, it doesn't do it justice. Reggie is actually pretty big. So whenever people see him, yeah, he's a cute dog and everything, but he can be intimidating. So people thought that my boxer was going to do something to the robot dog, but it wasn't, because the guy had experienced it before and knew that nothing was going to happen. But okay, let's talk about the shot. What I wanted to capture here was the dog and movement. So I ended up so whenever I take shots like these, I never actually like leave the shutter down or anything. I always do one shot at a time, so I'm actually thinking of what I'm doing, and I'm not just getting like some kind of crazy lucky shot. I'm usually just like, you know, clicking and clicking and clicking. So whenever this was happening, the dog, how it moves is like, sometimes it moves its front right and bottom left, and then, you know, at the same time, and it does the opposite on the other side. So it moves like this. And basically I wanted to have only one of its paws up. So I got lucky, because it ended up like turning a little bit to the side, so it only moved one paw. up, and that's what I wanted to capture right here. But it's kind of freaky also, and that's why I also called it Dawn of the Machines, because you do see these all over you know, Texas and everything now. You know, people I've seen videos of people breaking, like SWAT teams breaking down into people's homes and stuff, and they'll bring one of these, so in case they have a gun, you know, they'll shoot the dog, but the robot dog, but the robot dog will be okay because it's like bulletproof or something. I don't know, but it's becoming more and more common. So whenever I saw this, I ended up naming it Dawn of the Machines. But yeah, that's this shot right here. Yeah, I'm gonna end up going into like a crazy long story about these, because there's a lot of stuff that happens around a festival, and you know, that's just one of the things that happened with that first shot. So it's a good thing that I'm only talking about 2 shots. So on the second shot, it is called Fort Worth Doggy Love. So one of my friends online, he actually came up with a better name for it. I'll go ahead and tell you what the name is. It's called Toys for Boys. That's what one of my friends ended up calling it, which honestly is way better. But basically, it's these 3 little, I forget the names of these dogs, but this specific breed. But basically, they were on one of those motorized carts that you know, little kids used to drive around and everything. But this guy, the guy that you see right here on the left hand side, he had a remote control, so he was driving it for them. And basically, the dogs were just, I think they're Yorkies. But they were just sitting on top of it, and they were, you know, just relaxing and everything. But whenever they saw my dog, as you guys have, as I've told you guys, he looks intimidating sometimes. They ended up seeing him, and automatically they started barking at him. But it worked out because I was in front, and I, you know, basically asked the guy, hey, can I take a picture of them? And he was totally fine with it. So I ended up taking a picture. He ended up smiling, you know, it was a great time. But my dog was like right next to me, because the whole time that I was doing street photography, I had Reggie with me. So the little dogs in the actual cart, they were, you know, just barking, trying to get Reggie's attention. But Reggie is not gonna bark back. He's just, you know, like, totally ignores him. He just looks at them, but in case they get like really aggressive, that's whenever he reacts. But besides the fact, he's not gonna react. So what I wanted to capture here, as you guys can see, the cart they're riding, it's a Chevy. For people that live in Europe, I don't know if you guys have like, well, the times that I've been there, you guys have really small cars, but this is actually like a big truck, but you know, in a tiny version for kids and stuff like that. But it's supposed to be like a Chevy truck. So I wanted to capture you know, them as the main subject right here on the right hand side. But I also wanted to capture him driving, because he's the one that's actually moving the cart. I didn't want to just capture them. I wanted to capture the person that's also moving the cart. So I ended up putting him like at the very edge on the left. But I wanted to capture, almost wanted to leave it solo, as you know, use the little dogs and the actual cart by itself. But I feel like it adds more if you actually add the person that's actually controlling the car. It's not like the dogs are actually driving it. So and plus he was smiling, so I liked the smile. So I was like, okay, yeah, this is great. I'm just gonna go ahead and take a picture and, like, you know, angle it like this, so I'm able to capture both subjects. But you can see the person on the left, and then you can see the dogs on the right. And yeah, that's the shot right here. But yeah, for you guys that are in Europe, yeah, this is it's not a car. It's supposed to be like a big truck, but you know, in a little kid's version. And then for the shot that I'm going to go ahead and talk about today, so this is the profile that I'm going to go ahead and talk about today. As I have said in you know, previous videos, I don't ever mention anybody's name, because there are people in other countries that I could totally get their names wrong. So I just, you know, this is the profile that I'm going to go ahead and talk about. But what I like about his and what I feel is unfortunate is that we live in the same area, the DFW area, and we haven't gone out and done street photography together yet. But I hope that that's on, you know, the calendar at some point, that we can go ahead and go out there and, like, you know, pick each other's brain on what we like about street photography, and, you know, work together to create some awesome stuff. But basically, he lives in the DFW area as well, so he does end up taking pictures a lot in Dallas. So I take pictures in Fort Worth, he takes pictures in Dallas and stuff like that. But he ends up using a Fujifilm camera, which, you know, I'm a Sony lover from the very beginning. So, you know, learning a whole new system and everything is not something that I feel comfortable with, at least at the moment. But whenever I see shots from him, considering that we've been to some of the same cities in the USA, it kind of like gives you a different perspective. And it also, what I like about Fujifilm is that the colors, it brings like, you know, old type of film colors into the modern age, so it just looks gorgeous. So all of the shots are just amazing. Like the color is beautiful, the light, how he plays with the light is really, really good. And it's also all about, you know, the perspective and how you angle an image. So this is the shot that I want to go ahead and talk about today. So for this shot, I ended up seeing it and I automatically drew my eye, like, because I like layers in street photography, and it just works out perfectly. So basically, as you can see, the main subject is the woman that she's right behind the cichlids, those two fish right there. So the two fish are blurry, and then she you can see her focused up perfectly. And this is basically an aquarium. I'm guessing this was in Houston because I ended up seeing some photos that he was taking in a Houston aquarium. I'm not 100% sure, but basically the aquarium has, like, you know, this is either a corner or it's an aquarium that both sides are completely clear. So the person is, the main subject is in focus, like automatically. It's like, and the black and white, I'm a sucker for black and white, and as soon as I saw this, I just automatically fell in love with it. But basically, you can see the light on her left side of her face coming in, and you know, it's dark on her right. But what works out for me, and that automatically brings me into the image, is how there's light from on top towards the fish as well, especially the bottom fish. And it's just like, you know, different directions of light. And then what works for it very, very well as well is the depth that is created behind the main subject. So there's the corner of the room, plus there is also a light on the very right top corner. So there's, you know, so many different angles of light coming in that it just, you know, it draws you in automatically because there's just so much going on. You know what I mean? Like, it seems like a simple shot, but he really, really thought about what he wanted to do with his shot, especially with all the different types of light that he, you know, put into the image. So there's the light coming in from the back, there's the light coming down to the fish, and then there's the light coming to the left side of the main subject's face. And it's just like, it works really, really well. And especially the bubbles, it just adds an effect to it and everything. But this is that gorgeous Fujifilm, you know, type of color that it works out, and it brings the image out like so well. Especially doing something like this in the modern age, it's just, you know, it's timeless. It's just gorgeous colors and everything. And honestly, if I'm being honest, this makes me want to go for a Fujifilm camera. It makes me want to, you know, jump the gun and buy a Fujifilm camera, start taking pictures with it. But you know, the fact that he has a entirely different perspective on how he takes pictures, especially like in New York City or Chicago and places that we've been, you know, and taking pictures in the same cities. He has like a whole different perspective on it. So that's what I really appreciate about his art and, you know, his Fujifilm type of photos. But thank you guys for tuning in. And this is the photo that I want to go ahead and talk about today. I'm already almost at 15 minutes, and I'm pretty sure that Instagram cancels or, you know, stops a video at 15 minutes. So thank you guys for tuning in. This is the profile that I want to go ahead and talk about today. Keep doing the awesome work, man. You're doing some beautiful work, and I hope that one day soon we're able to work together. But again, thank you guys for tuning in, and I will go ahead and catch you guys next time.